Good afternoon, everybody. I've been doing a little bit of work with some of the younger children actually on a book called My Mouth is a Volcano. And this is a book which is about when you have feelings that build up inside you and you can't help but just blurt them out and interrupt people. So it made me think a little bit about the other types of things that can bottle up inside of us and make us feel really, really anxious or angry and upset until things just spew out of us and we can't hold them in anymore and they begin to damage us. So to me that reminds me of cans of fizzy drink, and we all know that you've got to be very careful with fizzy drinks because what you don't want to happen is for them to spew over. And we know that if we let ourselves get really angry and agitated, and we did the same with the bottle of drink and we were shaking it really hard, when we opened it, it might be disastrous. So we're going to have a bit of an experiment today on exactly that theme. And we're going to have a think about this little boy called Maz and think about the start to Maz's day. And so Maz is having an all right, very much beginning. He wakes up nicely, everybody's nice to him first thing, and then he goes in to clean his teeth before he goes downstairs. And he gives his teeth a really good scrub, and he heads downstairs and his brother is there. And his brother is saying to him, Maz, you look stupid. You've got toothpaste all over your face. Oh my God, look at your top. And Maz starts feeling really, really angry and upset. And he still feels like that when his mum suddenly starts shouting at him and saying, Maz, where's your book bag? You're not ready for school. Where are your shoes? Go and find them now. Get in the car. So Maz does all these things and he's getting more and more agitated and feeling more and more unhappy. And he gets to school and he starts walking through the school gate and he sees some of his friends and he runs up to them to try and talk to them. But then they start ignoring him and the feeling builds again. So poor Maz, he goes into the classroom, he sees his friend Megan and he thinks Megan's lovely. I'll go and sit next to Megan. So he goes to sit down on the carpet next to Megan. And then Samantha comes along and says, no, Maz, I want to sit here today. You go somewhere else. I'm sitting next to Megan. So Maz once again gets really, really, really upset and he doesn't quite know what to do. And he's calming down when the teacher says to them, it's register time. So he sits down next to Jason on the rug and the teacher is asking them their names, who's next, and they're saying, yes, Mrs. Mills. I'm here, Mrs. Mills. Present, Mrs. Mills. Good morning, Mrs. Mills. But behind him, there are some children who are making such, and Mrs. Mills is taking the register. Maz is finding it really difficult to concentrate and it's making him really angry. But the final straw comes when Mrs. Mills stops and she says, and who was it that was talking whilst I was reading the register? And one of the other children said, it was Maz. Maz was talking when you were reading the register. And that was too much for Maz. Whoa! His feelings spewed over and he erupted, shouting and crying, and he couldn't cope anymore. Now, it's not ideal to erupt and to feel that bad, but things do happen sometimes. They do make us feel really bad. So we need to find some ways to cope with them. Now, just like the other can, this has been shaken up. But one of the things you can do is perhaps just take a little tiny bit of time before you react or respond to anything. So when you have those really difficult feelings, when you've had that awful moment and you're feeling really overwhelmed, if you just try one simple thing, it really might help you not spew out everywhere and get really angry and upset and hurt other people perhaps at the same time. So we're going to just take our time, a few seconds now, to breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds and then out slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. And then we're going to see if our can is feeling quite as angry and worked up as it was before with just that little bit of extra time. So, just like this. Do we think it's ready? I think we need one more moment of calming down. So in for 4. And then we'll try it. much calmer. Just take a few moments out if you need them, and your whole life might just feel a little bit more like a settled fizzy drink. Enjoy it, everybody, from How Green House.